What it do? What it do? We in the
Oh
building.
man,
Sorry for the delay, technical difficulties. You feel me? But we got through it. I'd like to welcome
yeah,
y'all to another episode of Ears to the Street. Special guest, living legend, Big Y. What's up, bro? What's
yes,
up,
sir.
Unc? What's the deal, man?
Oh, oh man, everything is everything, man.
Man, we had some difficulties right here, huh?
Yeah, yeah, but we
It
figured
was
it out, though.
crazy.
Yeah, we
Man, so
figured it out.
how's everything been through this year lockdown, man? Coronavirus. How's everything?
I mean, shit, I'm still locked down. Y'all see me looking like a caveman.
Hey, I remember I seen the last time I think you went out for your birthday last year. You had the Jersey party or something.
Yup, at the gym, yup.
Yup. That's crazy, man. So
Yeah,
I see that you've been getting your health in order and all that. I love that,
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get back to my old Y.
That's
This new
crazy.
nigga,
So
this new nigga ain't it.
for people that don't know you, probably don't, ain't know who you are. These young people can you tell everybody who are you and where you grew up at?
Well, I'm Big Y from Inglewood, California. Uh, I've been in music for 30 years. I did a lot of different things. I'm gonna let you ask me for the music, but yeah, I'm from Inglewood, California.
And what made you start rapping?
Shit, I mean, I come from that era, man, where hip hop was new. Hip hop came out in late '70s.
Uh huh.
That's born, so it was a big thing. You know what I mean? Break dancing, DJing, rapping, beatboxing. You know what I'm saying? It was that, sports and gangs. You know what I mean? And I dove headfirst in all of it.
Man, and all of it. So how did rapping come about if you was gang banging and stuff?
Well, I really wasn't banging like that early on. It was just in the areas where I lived, and it was just everything. You know what I mean around you. You know what I mean. But I started. The main thing, rap was always my first thing. You know what I
Okay.
mean, and it was based on just the company I kept and dudes I was around.
Yeah.
Like my homeboy, actually one of my homeboy, rest in peace, that taught me how to rap. His name is Marcel Williams. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure y'all familiar with his name. Tupac used to talk about him in his songs. His name was Mental,
Hmm.
and Mental was my best friend in junior high. And he actually the one that taught me how to rap. But during while and he was like one of the coldest rappers in Los Angeles. Like in the seventh grade, he would battle niggas in high school and out of high school. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like he was that dope. You know what I mean? And I used to just beatbox, and we was a part of a crew like everybody else. So during those days, I pretty much played the back. I just used to beatbox, and I used to just work on my rhymes on the phone and at home and with him, just us. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
never would get in the battles because the battles was fierce. So it's like you're talking about like 86, 85, 86, 84, 85, 86, shit like that.
Mm.
When, we used to go up to the Hawthorne Mall and these niggas be battling and it'd be like Red Rum and more and my boy Mental, and this when Corrupt first moved out here. Actually, Mental gave Corrupt his name. You
What?
know, so, yeah, Marcel was like a big fixture in LA rap as a
Okay.
kid. He was like a miniature LL Cool J, you know what I mean?
Damn.
And he just, he was that dope. If you ask anybody from Inglewood around our area, you know what I'm saying, Monroe, Morningside area, you knew who Marcel was, MC Cell. Like everybody knew who he was, you know what I mean? And that was like my best friend. And he taught me how to rap, you know what I'm saying? And then just being around them dudes, Red Rum, like we go, but like he not just somebody I rap with, like Rum is really my friend, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he's older than me. So, Mind you, these dudes is like lyrical, just machines back then. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't yet developed my voice and built my confidence to step in the arena yet. So, you know, as time went on, I did away from school. I would do shows, and like I remember one time, my mom looked up. I had a manager. I did a record when I was like 11 years old. I used to be in the studio. Uh, I
Man.
ended up one night. I had a show at a club in Santa Monica, and I told her to bring everybody. And they
What was
looked
that
up.
song? What was your first song you made? You did. What was the song?
It was called "Practice What You Preach,"
Mm.
and it was another record called "L.A. Lakers." I had made a record for the Lakers winning the championship that year, and they pressed it up. And the crazy thing about it was, is my homeboy. I got my homeboy, Lil Nut. I actually got two partners that still got that record.
What?
Yeah, and my name wasn't Big Y. It was Heavy Duty.
Heavy duty.
Heavy Duty.
So describe coming up in your environment in the 80s and 90s in Inglewood.
You watch Snowfall?
Yup. That's
That's
it?
what it looked like, nigga.
Never. That's how it was?
Man, let me tell you something. Like, it felt like Snowfall. It really felt like the. You know what's crazy about that is, the dude Scully,
Uh-huh.
and you see how they talking about they from the bottoms. That's really they talking about us. They talking about my homeboys, and
Yeah.
I got a homeboy really alive, living right now this day, named Scully
Damn.
from the bottoms.
That's crazy. And so the bottoms, ain't that on English Street a part of the bottoms?
Yeah, England is a part of the bottoms.
Yeah,
Darby D.
I was over there. My grandma stayed over there and all that. We stayed in there. Went to
Right.
Monroe.
The connection is, John Singleton. He grew up in the bottoms. That's why the bottom
Oh,
Christian
okay.
Marcus was in Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? And now that he doing Snowfall, and back then, his reference in his mind, these characters and people, his influence comes from our neighborhood. You know what I mean? So
Oh, okay.
that's why he used Scully name. You know what I'm saying? With my homeboy DeAndre playing his part.
Yeah,
You know,
DeAndre crazy.
that's my nigga. I can't wait to talk to him. Like, nigga, you ain't from the hood. Nigga, how you gonna claim the homie ain't you from the
Hey, yo,
hood? He gonna
look, he doing it big though. Like he
be
killing it
crip.
though.
You a crip anyway, nigga. That's my nigga though. He
So
playing the hell. And
so
Scully
what
ain't even burnt out like
he
that.
ain't?
He an active down gangster homie, but I'm talking about burnt out like how DeAndre playing in that role. Nah,
But back in
Scully a fly.
but in the 80s he was like that though, right?
Nah, he was down. That's what I'm saying. It's just the name.
Oh, okay.
His character and personality, like Scully a gangster. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My nigga Scully a gangster. But he a fly nigga too, though. He real fly. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's kind of like the way they mixed it. They mixed. He used his name for Scully, but his personality, the way he look and his flyness and how he act is more like what's the other nigga name? The light skinned nigga.
From Compton?
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I know he's from Compton.
That's you see how like he a fly nigga, but he a gangster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how Skull is for real. You know what I mean? But
Oh, okay.
that's just non-creative mind. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
mixed those characters, and create them like that. But I mean, Inglewood was, it was dope, man. You know what I mean? It was just, those two movies, The Wood and Snowfall, it kind of represents how Inglewood was back in the days like that. Because those movies are both about my era of my life. Like the movie The Wood, is written by another dude that Rick Fumiyama that played basketball with us. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So those characters in that movie is my homeboys too, Joaquin and the people that they talking about. You know what I mean? And I went to elementary school with them before they went to St. Bernard's in La Tierra.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? And
Dang.
that's
That's
why
what's up.
when he went on to do another movie, the movie Dope. He actually used one of the characters he used in the movie was my real name. You know what I mean? So I
Yay.
told him, you know what I mean, Rick, we need to holler about that, man. You know, if you see this, you know
So,
what I mean?
what inspired you to start rapping?
Uh, just that being around those dudes, my boy Mental and Red Rum, and just listening to it, man, and just it was just crazy. I used to watch this show. We before cable, we had on TV,
Okay.
and I used to watch this show called Breaking and Entering, and Ice T and the Glove was the host, and that shit was hard. You know
Mm.
what I mean? I used to listen to Ice T, you know what I mean, and listening to King T and Mixed Masters. Pop was all around me. Like DJ Pooh lived 5 houses, like 4 houses down from me. From my grandmother. What happened? You fell out. Yeah, you back now.
Oh no, I was letting you talk. I was here.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Oh,
I was
okay. Yeah, yeah.
talking to get the solo shot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like DJ Pooh lived like 3 or 4 houses down from me. So it's like I'm around it constantly, the records and listening to music. And then, like I said, my boys battling and stuff like that. So it drove me to want to get involved in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I was a heavy kid, you know what I mean? So I could pop lock, but I wasn't too good at breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Me trying to windmill, I'd have broke my shoulder trying to do that shit. You know what I mean? So,
So
and that,
how did you come into the young soldiers?
the young soldiers came about during high school, during my last 2 years of high school. Um, my boy Bolo's little, which was little stretch, he checked in the morning side, and you know, through music or through our interest in music and me wanting to rap, what I mean, we kind of started hanging out, and just we clicked, what I
Yeah.
mean, and we both had the same interests, and we start, just rapping and hanging out and just trying to do music together, you know what I mean? And he ended up going to jail. And when he went to jail, when he came home, that's when we did the Banging on Wax, the first Banging on Wax album. And a part of our situation, what we did with Banging on Wax, we worked out something with the people that was doing the Banging on Wax album for us to do our own album outside of just Bloods and Crips. We wanted our own group album, and that's how
Okay.
we formed the Young Soldiers, and came up with the group idea.
And so why y'all only put out one album?
That's not how it was supposed to go. We put that one album out, and you know, through the popularity of East Side West Side on that song,
Mm-hmm.
it drew Suge's attention, and the homies OFTB, rest in peace, Flipside. He connected us with Suge, and Suge called us up to the Murder Was the Case uh, movie shoot, and we had a conversation. He gave us a bag of money, and, like told us welcome to Death Row. So we left the motherfuckers that we was with at first. Told them like, look, we leaving. You know what I mean? We want out this contract. Y'all can have this music. We don't want no ownership of this music. We just taking one song, and that was East Side West Side. Y'all can have everything else, but we taking this one song. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So they gave us. And so what we did was we took that one song and went to went to Death Row and remixed it, with a different beat and put it
Yeah.
on the Murder Was the Case soundtrack. And Suge gave us a boatload of money. So we actually recorded a second album, a Young Soldier album that exists in the vaults and little stretched out the reels. Uh we just never put it out because
Mm.
the way Suge ran Death Row back then, it wasn't like how Master P came along and just dropped music and dropped
Yeah.
all the albums and put everybody out. They focused on whoever was priority at the time. They felt like that was the move, which was Snoop Dogg and then, Dr. Dre. So when things started to get riffle and Dre left and Snoop Dogg, and then when Pac came home, it was all about Tupac. You know what I mean? You
Man,
got
so
to.
y'all was on Death Row when Pac came and all that.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's like you got to really think. Dog Pound only put out one album.
They did.
You got to really think. It's only one Dog Pound album. They got other music and stuff that they done together and songs and shit, but it's
Yeah.
only one Dog Pound album with Daz and Corrupt as the Dog Pound. You know what I mean? Unless whatever they did later, you know what I mean. But the original one was the Dog Food album.
So
You know what I
y'all,
mean?
so y'all young soldiers never broke up. Then y'all just stopped making music because y'all were with Death Row or something.
Nah, I mean we kind of just grew apart later on. When Death Row started to, when they kind of fizzled apart. You know what I'm saying? You know, Stretch was doing whatever he was doing, and me and my cousin, me and Sugar Booger, we was always together. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when we decided to. Well, Booger came up with the idea of us being the relatives.
Mm. So
You know,
before I get into the relative, how was it you coming up in the Banging on Wax, that first one? How was it like? How did that come about? Like, and then did y'all do the second album? And what made y'all do the second album? Like,
or the Banging on Wax.
yeah, the first Banging on Wax. How did
Uh,
it come about with like it wasn't no beefing, like it wasn't nothing. Like y'all just went in there and did it together, or what?
I wish it was. It sound good, but nah, it wasn't like that. No, nah. Red Rum called me. Red Rum is the originator and creator of the idea of Banging on Wax.
Okay.
So he called me and let me know what was going on, and it was going to be a Blood and Crip side, and that he was in charge of getting all the Blood rappers. And like I said, by Rum being a real rapper, he picked certain people that he wanted to represent on the B side. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I brought Little Stretch to the table because that was my partner. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's how we end up getting on the Banging on Wax album. And then the second one, um, we kind of veered away from being the main focus of the B side, and we produced some records on there, and we rapped on a couple records on Banging on Wax too. But that's when we started trying to introduce the homies, new acts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's when we brought in Lil. My main concern was bringing in Lil Hawk, and Lil Hawk was bringing in Braids. You know what I mean? My main concern at first was bringing in Lil Laniac, Lil Hawk, and B Braids. Them was our main, you know,
Mm.
coming from my side. You know what I mean?
So when
And
y'all did like the number two or on Banging on Wax 2, songs number 2, I think in 3 when it's y'all together, because on the first one y'all didn't do songs where y'all did together, but on 2 y'all did songs together. Like how was that? Like
with the Blood and Crips,
yeah, like y'all did a song on the same song, like y'all on number 2, like G's and Lokes, I want to say, and
well, G's and Lokes came from the actual concept of how we did the first Banging on Wax. The first Banging on Wax, we did the song Banging on Wax together.
that was it.
That was it. You know what I
And
mean?
then
Just like
on the
G's and
second one,
Lil,
y'all did like 2
G's and,
songs together, right?
Not the second one. I think it's only G's and Lokes. It's the same.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And so we played a more production role, you know, because in between Banging on Wax 1 and 2, the Young Soldier album came out. So we wasn't really trying to, we wanted to be more accepted into a different stream outside of just being, of doing blood music dissing and shit like that. So, you know, we kind of played the back and did a little more production,
okay.
like I produced with a couple of my boy Leroy Mafia Lanes, and I wrote it on Can't Stop Won't Stop, and we did Send That Crab Off, Two Die, like me and Lil Stretch did that. He actually sampled it at his house. He had
Mm.
the drum in his room. We did that, you know, and yeah, and then that's how I just played out like that.
So then, I remember that album. Did you have any part to do in the Damu album, the Damu Rider album? I want to say.
No, no, I didn't. Actually, by the time when they started doing the Diamond Riders and Nationwide Rip Riders, that's when, because when that was the deal that I had worked out with Ronnie, the dude that was running this Banging on Wax
Yeah.
thing. You know, I told him, like, you know, everything that you was doing for me and Lil Stretch, because we was like priority with that label at the time. I'm like, everything you doing for us, you do for Lil Hawk now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Oh, that's
passing
my
the
little
torch,
Hawk on that album like that.
and we passed the torch to Lil Hawk. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And if you notice, Lil Hawk became the priority of that label then. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? That's, you know, and they created that whole thing where they wanted to separate it. You know what I mean? And they called it the Damo Riders and the Nationwide Rip Riders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of it being a together thing. You know what I mean? You know.
Was it better like that, or it was better the first two?
Uh, I don't think none of those projects got as much recognition as the first one did,
Mm.
because the first one was something surprising.
Okay.
Right after the peace treaty and then the riots, and then now you got these Bloods and Crips doing an album together. You know what I mean? So, you know, not taking away from nothing or none of the projects. You know what I mean? Because I think Banging on Wax 2 was dope too, because it, and the Nationwide Rip Riders and the Diamond Riders projects was both dope. Because even on the Nationwide Rip Rider side, these is dudes that we brought to the table. You know what I mean? Our homies Freeze, and they brought their homies, and you know what I mean? Like, these is niggas that we rap with and grew up with. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like Freeze and Lil Stretch was like best friends. You know what I mean? Them niggas lived 3 houses down from each other.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, hell yeah. And then
I
Stone,
know
he
Freeze.
started.
I met
Yeah,
Freeze Franklin's before when I was young.
yeah, yeah. Like, and Stone, that's on the Nationwide Rip Riders. That's Lil Stretch, little brother.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You know,
Six Pack, was he cool? Was Six Pack cool?
Six Pack was my nigga, man. Rest in peace, Six Pack. Six Pack just passed
For
not too
real?
long ago. Yeah, Six Pack passed, man. Probably like about 3 or 4 months ago, man. That's the
Damn.
coolest nigga ever. That's my nigga. Like, like we stayed over. You know, I lived in the Franklins.
Man.
You know, because my folks, you know, like Lil Stretch and them, they lived over there. They had they parents' house was over there. Even though Stretch and Lil Stretch from Body Hunters, they moms and them lived over there. You know what I mean? And that's why Stone
Oh,
was from
okay.
Franklin. You know what I mean? So,
Damn.
you know, and I lived over there for a couple years, and you know, I mean, that's how I got, you know, to really know like a lot of the Frank. I was cool with like a lot of the Frank, especially the main ones that meant anything, like Freeze, and you know, not taking nothing away from the other ones, but all the ones that was known,
Yeah.
especially Six Pack. And like Six Pack that was my nigga, man. Six Pack cool as a motherfucker. Show the nigga, take him to the Franklin Squares and let the homies take it from there.
You like, man, so much that check this out. It's time to pour gas on his head and mouth. Is that, oh man, yeah, that shit was hard, man. I tell you that whole album, like that's why I was like, you know what I'm saying? And I always loved the Young Soldiers, and I always thought about like why y'all didn't make one. Like, and I just heard that the one song Stretch did on there by himself. I couldn't think of the one. I'm like, man. So I'm like, he had a song that he did by himself on there. Like,
you ain't even trip. Probably people don't even trip. Freeze is on the original East Side West Side on the Young Soldier album. Who's that? Because it didn't know what's up. Big Freeze, like he listed all East Side with the original East Side West Side. Freeze on there, Freeze on there, and Big Stretches on there.
Damn, that's crazy. So you said Sugar Booger came in with the y'all came in with the idea of the relatives. So how did that come about?
Well, I mean, like rap has always been my passion, man. So even after, when Death Row kind of faded, we had, we growing up and it's got to hustle and find a way. So it wasn't really working with the music. So we just started doing different shit. And, you know what I mean? And, I kept rapping. I, started trying to get jobs here and there and do different things because shit changed. You know what I mean? So as I kept going, I was doing, recording, going in the studio by myself. And then one day, man, we was driving down the street. I was in the car. I'll never forget. I was in the car with Boogie. He was like, man, we should do this shit ourselves, man. Just me and you, like, for real. I'm like, for real, you with it? Like, you know what I mean? Because, rap has always been Booger thing, but he ain't always Booger a hustler. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He ain't, his passion wasn't as strong as mine. But he, so when he said that, I was like, oh, for sure. And he was like, man, but we need a hard ass name, you know what I mean? And he was just throwing shit out there. And I'll never forget. We was driving down Prairie and that nigga said the relatives. And I was like, yeah, that's hard. You know what I mean? And we just rolled with it. And once we did that from there, we just started fucking around. We always used to freestyle, so it was always about us. We used to hang out at his baby mama house and shit, rapping and shit. And then some homies that we met from San Diego, we had met when we went to a Death Row concert. They was like, he was like, man, we got a few dollars, man. We give y'all a couple bucks. If y'all want to do an album, man, you know what I'm saying? We'll do the first Relative album, man. We started going to San Diego, hooked up with San Diego producer Steve and a couple others, Trey Boogie and Ajamu. And we did that Dirty Money album, man, and fucked around and made a classic in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Damn. So, like, how was rapping with B Brazy was? How was that? Like his flow and the team.
It was just regular, man. And the homie had so much personality and style, you know what I mean? Because it's like it wasn't just about rap with us. We was banging, you know what I mean? Like we was together. Like I'm from different lanes, just like I am Crenshaw Mafia, you know what I mean? And him vice versa. Yeah. So hanging together and rapping, and we got closer over the years, you know what I mean? And it's like he always had just a real creative, witty ass personality and style about himself. Like he's a real characteristic person. Like he got strong, he a character. You know what I mean? That's why he used to always play with his words and what, like, you know what I mean? And we always had like different lingo, how we used to talk and, call each other sweets. And, you know what I mean? His name was Sweets and and he called me different names and Tony, you know what I mean? Tony Leopard. And we used to just clown and, you know what I mean? Just all types of shit, man. You know what I mean? Like we used to just joke and had our own language. It was just like, he was way out. Like, you know what I mean? Some of his favorite rappers was like Slick Rick and niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where he get all that personality. He got a wild imagination. Yeah, I'm telling you, I had a big, bad, thick blue bitch from the planet Titaris. She was blue with a big apple with 3 titties.
Did he ever do a solo album?
We started working. Braves was working on a solo album. It was kind of like, real talk. Me and Braves was kind of working on an album together, man, before he died. and my homeboy Lil 8 had a lot of the records, and I can't remember, but we was working on the record together because we had ended up getting with this SA dude, and he was funding the money and putting the money behind it, you know what I mean? And then Braves was kind of like doing some stuff by itself, and but yeah, it never really came to fruition. And I think before he died, he was gonna do a solo album because I think he was signing or doing some stuff with Mac 10.
Yeah, he did that. Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. He did
Yeah,
that
yeah,
song on that
that with
album
them.
back then.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like all these rhymes, is rhymes that we used to sit around and listen to and kick all day long. You know what I mean? It's just they found their time to get recorded and put on something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So how was it working with Lil Hawk? Putting him on and him doing his thing with the Damu Rider stuff.
I mean, that's bro, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my homie. You know what I mean? So it was always a cool thing. You know what I mean? Like me and Lil Hawk, we didn't we hung in the hood together. We hung out together. We didn't hang in the same circle constantly on the regular. I was always with the young soldiers and my crew. You know what I mean? But Lil Hawk, since day one, since we was young, he always been a cool ass nigga. You know what I mean? Even before I was from the hood, like you know what I mean. And he just had a lot of personality and style about him. You know what I mean? And just the way his style was and who he was in the hood. I used to pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? And he like his presence demanded it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this thing got. You know what I mean? So once we did that, you know what I mean. By the time it was, we did Banging on Wax. I'm like, man, we gotta introduce. I'm telling Lil Laniac, like, nigga, we gonna introduce Lil Hawk on Mafia Lanes. We're gonna do this Mafia Lane record, and that's how we gonna introduce Lil Hawk.
Lil Hawk, YG, this new, yeah,
Yeah. And
that was
then
hard.
once we did that, shit, he a natural leader himself. So shit, he didn't need me no more. He started making the moves and doing what he needed to do for himself. And that's how it just came about. You know what I mean? Like I
How
didn't really
often do you talk to him?
I just sent him some money about a couple hours ago. I haven't talked to him in a minute because they was on lockdown because of the corona shit, but I talked to somebody that he calls, on the regular, but I haven't talked to him in a minute personally, but we communicate with each other through somebody
Oh,
through
okay.
somebody all the time, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I see that tonight after this, you interviewing Lil Stretch.
Nah, that's not Little Stretch from Bonnie Hunt. That's the only Little
Oh,
Stretch from Fruital Brims. He actually, I did a little interview with him. You know what I mean? And he, I guess he gonna post it up tonight.
oh, okay, okay. So is a relative gonna come out with another album or?
Uh, we got some songs. We got an album that we put together, been from the
Who all
game.
in the group right now?
It's always just been me and Sugar Booger.
That's it.
It's always just been us two.
I thought it was like a couple more people. Also, Lee Brady was
Nah,
just a feature on there.
yeah, that's just the homie. You know what I mean? That's just our
Oh,
nigga. But the relatives was me and Sugar Booger because we
that's it,
really related. Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we might, hopefully we could get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing other stuff, and Sugar Booger, he opening up all these restaurants and shit. So that's his main priority right now. That nigga rich off selling chicken, man.
Which chicken?
That nigga got a restaurant. You ain't never hear of the Soul Food Shack.
Oh,
It's
that's
in Dark.
Chicken Boogie. I just started following them on Instagram.
Yeah, that's Booger Restaurant. Him and his wife, the Soul Food Shack.
I'm about to go check it out now. I just started.
Oh yeah.
Somebody put me up on getting. They was like that, and I started following them on Instagram.
Ooh, you making me hungry. I'm finna order me a veggie plate right now.
Hey, you gotta keep working though. I see you out there working every morning, man. Like that, like
Oh
that.
yeah, and I'm getting twisted, nigga. I'm still gonna eat some string beans and some cabbage, nigga. Don't get it fucked up. I don't eat all the fried chicken and all that shit from up there, but I'm damn sure gonna get that veggie plate.
Oh, everything.
I might even sneak in some yams.
What you got coming up now? What's any new projects? Anything new coming out?
Yeah. Actually, we just turned in the evolution of Banging on Wax, which is a record that me, Wacko, and Red Rum came together on, and I produced like 80% of the album. Me and my boy Talent Boy, Black Thompson, Styles, and Jared. We produced that, and it's not like the first one.
Okay.
It's kind of it's really representation of music, how music is today. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you see a YG and Nipsey do a record, and then you see a, you know what I mean? You see different dudes doing records together. You know what I mean? They real records, real quality music. The shit is dope. You know what I mean? It got a little bit of everybody on there. OT Genesis, Game, Blueface, Mozzie,
Mm,
Nipsey Hussle, shit. You name it, AD, AV, Fig Newton,
I like
my little
Fig. I was just
homie
listening to Fig too. I like
Scrams,
Fig.
my little homie Scrams, Bumpy Bars, Geechee Gotti is on there, Asia from Compton is on there. Shit, man, there's a lot of people on there. K Boy is on there. It's a lot of dudes. My young homie Low from Villains is on there. It's a lot of people on there. I can't even
And when this
remember.
supposed to come out?
It's actually coming out within the next couple of months. The single is done, which is called Bloods, Crips, and Power Rules, which is produced by me and Talent Boy. It's Mozzie, OT Genesis, Game, and Blueface.
Mm.
Yeah. Then we actually just added a song with Snoop Dogg and True Car. That's hard. Yeah, Killer Twine is on the album. Yeah, it's a lot of dudes on the album, man. A lot of people. It's dope, man.
That's
It's
good.
gonna be dope.
That's gonna be big.
That's crazy. CeeLo Green is on the album. Red Rum, of course.
Like,
Yeah.
who were some of the favorite rappers that you got to work with? That did you work with any of your favorite rappers about that you always wanted to work with when you got older, when you got in the music game?
Yeah, King T. That was a highlight for me when we redid Play Like a Piano on the takeover.
Mm.
Yeah.
TNT legendary though.
Yeah, and then for actually do a record with CeeLo, see that was big.
Mm.
That's coming out, so yeah, I mean I've done, Dub C, of course, CJ Mack, like these dudes is hard, you know what I mean? I still gotta get one with my nigga Trey D. We talk all the time, but we just ain't never done no record together.
Yeah.
But it's gonna happen.
That's what's up, man. So I don't want to take too much more of your time, Unc, man. I appreciate you tapping in with me, man. You know what I'm saying?
No
I'm a big
doubt, man.
fan. I'm a big fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm answering the questions that I wanted to ask, listen to the music growing up. Like,
Right. It's all good.
like, yeah, oh no. Little Hog,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I want to talk about all, you know what I'm saying? You and how it meant to you being in the bottoms and coming up, being the
Right.
legendary rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you tapping in though, man.
I appreciate you having me, champ.
And next time we're gonna get it right the first time, so we could get it another one. We're gonna have to get another one in and get this one right. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
it just all it was common sense had to kick in.
Hey, so tell everybody where they can find you on social media at.
Instagram at Big Y Media, BIGWY.media. I'm right there. Tap in. Holla at me.
Tap in. All right, appreciate it, man. Stay
All
safe,
right.
healthy, keep working.
For sure, man. Appreciate you. Take
All
it
right.
easy. Yep.
What's good? What's good? I'd like to thank Big Y for tapping in with me. You know what I'm saying? Legendary rapper, producer, songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Ken Chronicles, another show, Bo. We in the building. What's up to my boy Mac, Mac and LG, Sports and Realness, Big Nut, Beach Hub Corsos. Follow me on Instagram, Ear to the Street Podcast. I'm in the building and I'm out. LG. Oh, rest in peace to my mama, Day Day. Can't forget y'all. You feel me? My granny, love you too, baby. My kids, I love y'all. Come on.